Good evening and good to have you with us in the weekend edition of the Urban Debate. We put the spotlight on a draft bill that has been, draft proposal that has been put across by the Law Commission in Uttar Pradesh and has triggered off a big controversy. Now, this bill will look to bring about population control and talks about various methods for incentives and disincentives that can be given to people to ensure that they don't have too many children. Now, in the draft, there are lots of incentives, but what has triggered the debate, of course, is the other side, the disincentives. For example, if you have more than 2 children, you cannot avail benefits of several of the government schemes, the government welfare schemes. Even your access to ration on your ration card will be limited to 4 people. It also says that you will not be allowed to contest in the local body polls. There is also conversation and mention of polygamy, saying all children of a man from different wives will be counted together as one unit, not separate families. Now, on the other side, the draft also adds that public servants following the 2-child norm will get incentives like 2 additional increments, subsidized purchase of plot or house, rebate on utility charges, and increase in employers' contribution under the National Pension Scheme. There's obviously a political war of words that has broken out. We're a few months away from elections. Anything that can be taken up to polarize people further, to bring it about in people's minds that this is being done from the plot of only targeting one community and one segment with no other intention of bringing in any kind of population control, those kind of debates and conversations will continue. But what I want to also specifically talk about tonight is whether these kind of methods help. Incentives, of course, is one thing, and whether giving somebody an additional money or some other benefit for ensuring that they don't have more than 2 kids is a different thing. But to block access to government support, to government welfare schemes, to ration, to government jobs, to be able to contest in local body polls, does that work? And is that fair? Now, Uttar Pradesh isn't the first state that is looking at something like this. Assam and the new Assam Chief Minister has already announced that they are going to bring in rules like this today as well. He spoke about it. They were working on it and are hoping to bring it about in the next assembly session. There are also other states who already have such rules. So from Uttar Pradesh to, from Madhya Pradesh to Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh already have these similar rules, which is why it will be easy for us to see what happens in those states and whether it's actually helped without people feeling targeted or communities being marginalized. We say good evening to the panelists who are joining us right now. Poonam Mutreja, Executive Director for Population Foundation of India. Sanjay Hegde, Senior Advocate with the Supreme Court. O.P. Mishra of the BJP and Juhi Singh of the Samajwadi Party joining us this evening. Poonam Mutreja, let's start off with you. Since these, these kind of policies have been tried in other states, exist as we speak, do they help in population control, or are there more pros than cons to such a policy? You may be on mute. Poonam, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
So, the futility of these policies which are being suggested under the 2-child norm or coercion or incentives or disincentives, whatever word you want to use, it doesn't matter. Let's not get into a quarrel of words. But we know from China, which had a 1-child policy, but which worked partly because they are not a democracy. We are a democracy. Remember, during the emergency, when we had forced sterilization, a political party lost an election. And of course, it was men. If we had forced sterilized women, maybe we wouldn't have had such a strong reaction. Second, I'd like to go back to China and say that China could lower its population not only because of the 1-child policy, mainly because they invested in education and health. So when women get more literate, to invest more in literacy, fertility rates go down. So I call it the best contraceptive pill. Number two, there is so they went from one child and they realized the consequences of having one child policy where people start, because China also has son preference, they started aborting female feticides, and they have a terrible ratio where they have many more boys than girls. They also have ratio of generations, where there are fewer young people looking after an aged population, and the same problem is going to have happen in India, and we won't be able to afford the problem. China at least is economically strong to afford that problem. I shouldn't say afford the problem, but deal with the problem. Third, they went to 3-child norm because they realized even 2-child norm is a disaster. So a few months ago. So why don't we just learn from China? But if we choose not to learn from China, let's learn from the 24 states in India which have reached replacement level by investing in literacy, better health systems, better family planning services, and people, when they get educated, like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they automatically fertility declines.
Okay.
Another reason not to have these measures is that it is the poorest who get impacted. See, the middle class and the rich are having 2 children. Then some of them are not even having 2, they're having 1, or some aren't having children. It is the poor, not only because they're illiterate, but they have very little access to family planning services. Unless we improve our family planning services, how can we impose these incentives and disincentives? There is a huge unmet need in India of family planning services. Therefore, 16 million women, which includes a large chunk from UP, get abortions because they do not wish to have more children.
Yeah.
A couple of points give me to state the case why this won't work. Then look at states like, look at countries like Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka invested in increasing age at marriage of women, and therefore they decrease their fertility. Look at the 2 countries, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Muslim countries which reduce population very rapidly by introducing a basket of choices, not only sterilization. And here I find we are giving incentives for sterilization in a country where majority of a population is young.
Yes.
It is poor who will suffer. It is the women who will suffer, who have no choice or agency or access. This policy and everything is not driven by data. It is driven by myths, misconceptions, and really wrong interpretation.
So I understand you're saying, and thank you for actually highlighting multiple aspects of it. And we were also trying to dig out on if there are any exhaustive studies that have been done from states who already have this, and if that has helped these states. Let me ask this question to the party that's actually wanting to bring in this, and Mr. O.P. Mishra, क्या किसी भी हमारे देश के राज्य से या कहीं और से हमने रिसर्च की है कि ऐसी पॉलिसी से जहां आप लोगों को डिसइंसेंटिवाइज कर रहे हैं और गवर्नमेंट जॉब या राशन, गवर्नमेंट वेलफेयर स्कीम या लोकल बॉडी पोल से रोक रहे हैं, तो उससे पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल होती है?
देखिए तन्वी, इससे जो बेसिकली व्हाट वी हैव, दिस इज द ड्राफ्ट that has been draft is prepared by self-moto by the law commission in UP. और इसमें हम किसी को डिसेंटिवाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं, बल्कि उसमें इंसेंटिव की भी बात है जब आप पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल की बात करते हैं। लेकिन भारत पूरे विश्व में दूसरा सबसे बड़ा आबादी वाला देश है, इससे हम इनकार नहीं कर सकते। और उत्तर प्रदेश भारत में सबसे बड़ी आबादी वाला देश है, यहाँ की जनसंख्या 25 करोड़ से ऊपर है। और अगर उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार ने कुछ ऐसा कानून लाने का प्रयास कर रही है, जो कि आजादी के बाद से ही इसकी बहुत मांग है कि हमें जनसंख्या पे नियंत्रण होना चाहिए। आखिर जनसंख्या कब तक बढ़ाते रहेंगे? ये जनसंख्या विस्फोट कब तक? अभी हमारे पैनल में मुत्तेजा जी कह रही थी कि वो चाइना से हमें पॉलिसी सीखनी चाहिए। देखिए आज हम चाइना से क्यों सीखें? चाइना में आज चाइना इज द country of old people now, old age people now. They have lost the status of people of youth. India is the country of youth. So we have our different policy. We can't compare all these things with China. Why do we import this population policy from China? We have our own, we should have ड्राफ्ट आवर ओन पॉपुलेशन पॉलिसी। उत्तर प्रदेश ने इसने एक कदम आगे बढ़ाया है जिसके तहत अभी कई सारे उसमें इंसेंटिव्स भी है जैसे और कई सारे डिसइंसेंटिव्स है। बिल्कुल अगर आप रोक नहीं लगाएंगे तो आप नियंत्रण नहीं कर पाएंगे। आप अगर उसकी नौकरी में नहीं रोकेंगे
नहीं, मैं आपसे वही पूछ रही हूँ कि आपके पास क्या एविडेंस है कि ये पॉलिसी जहाँ पे आप रोक लगाते हैं डिसइंसेंटिव के साथ वहां पे ये काम करती है? मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ क्या आपको लगता है इस कारण से महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, मध्य प्रदेश की पॉपुलेशन बहुत भयंकर तरीके से गिर गई है क्या?
देखिए वहां क्या हुआ वो एक रिसर्च का विषय है। बिल्कुल उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने भी, जो विधि आयोग ने भी इस पर रिसर्च किया है और निश्चित रूप से जब ये कानून आएगा तो हम इसको पॉलिसी जो हमारे डिफरेंट मेजर्स जो हम अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं वो चाहे पॉलीगैमी मैरिज का है, आपने जैसा यहाँ पे जिक्र किया, सरकारी नौकरियों में नियंत्रण के लिए है और लोगों को चुनाव लड़ने से रोकने के लिए है, या जो उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की 70 योजनाएं चल रही है उनसे रोकने के लिए है। आप अगर डिसइंसेंटिव नहीं करेंगे तो आप पॉपुलेशन नहीं रोक पाएंगे। और बिल्कुल अगर हम ये एक उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार का प्रयास है और वो कानून ला रही है और देखिए 19 जुलाई तक पब्लिक में ओपन है ड्राफ्ट। दिस इज अ ड्राफ्ट ओनली, एनीबॉडी कैन हैव ओपिनियन ऑन दिस, एनीबॉडी कैन से द ओपिनियन ऑफ दिस।
ये अच्छी बात है कि आपने ये इसको ओपन फॉर पब्लिक रिस्पांस कहा है जिससे कि एटलीस्ट चर्चा का मौका मिलता है। बाकी कितने लॉज आए हैं जहां तो किसी से भी नहीं पूछा ना बताया और उसको लॉ भी बना दिया। पूनम, just 1 minute, let me just bring in 2 of our other panelists. Sanjay Hegde first.
There's a misunderstanding, so I just want to clear
that. No, if I may just bring in the 2 other panelists, then I'll come back to you. Yes,
sure.
Sanjay Hegde, is there also a fear, while I understand the incentive part of it, is there a fear that policies like this tend to then keep certain groups and communities out of the system, out of the government job system, out of, and block their access even to government schemes without effectively achieving what you want to, which is lesser population?
But long ago, Indira Gandhi once said that development is the best contraceptive. And Uttar Pradesh, on a lot of human development index indicators, is largely backward, especially when compared to the southern states, which have now fallen even below replacement values in population. In the same country, we are now heading into a system where the lesser successful states are just increasing in population. But these kind of measures will not achieve any measure of population control, primarily because let's assume somebody has more than 2 children. Is he or she going to stop feeding the third child? No. What the 2 children get, that will be divided among 3 or 4 or whatever. And it did strike me that, if my father or the Prime Minister's father, for instance, had been subject to these laws, then there were, I think, 6 children in the Prime Minister's family, 5 children in my generation. Would we all have been left out? This is these sections seem to me to come under the thread of what is manifestly arbitrary. Just because somebody is a 3rd child or a 4th child, can you just wish them away? Yes, there is one judgment of the Supreme Court which has upheld, insofar as Haryana is concerned, in the Panchayat elections, that somebody who has more than 2 children cannot contest. Contesting elections is a disincentive which may apply at a much later stage after childbirth. It is often used by politicians to knock off their opponents. But if this becomes law, this is going to hit disproportionately upon the poor. And the poor include the most marginalized sections of society, including the minorities, including the Dalits.
Yes.
Whoever are poor
Yeah.
are likely to have more children because an extra mouth is also an extra set of hands, which adds to the family income. They anyway are not going to contest elections. That part of it may be okay. But to say that you will not give them rations, that is inhuman.
Yes, and if they're already struggling for money and they see this as an option, they're probably any which is going to have more children because they're not going to get enough ration or a government job. Juhi Singh, there is also the question of why are we then restricting it to only a certain set of polls? Should we just go all out and say even for parliamentarians and for our legislators, this should be the rule?
Tanvi, you're right, and also I think there's a faulty understanding of population dynamics by our government because due correction, we are not going through a population explosion now. Fertility rates have more or less stabilized. Life expectancy has increased. Women are coming into workforce. So as has been pointed out earlier, where are the jobs for the women? Get them into the mainstream. Let them have education. And there's also the question of the sex ratio. UP, it's very negative towards women. A penalizing law, which anyway this government cannot bring in because you load the draft today, you just fix a date 19th July, where you're taking suggestions and then it's going to take a whole 1 year. So the questionable timing is there. If you are indulging in such a serious proposition, then engage in full debate. And what are you doing to really stop this active sex determination, which is very well going on in UP, illegal abortions? We are penalizing the economically weaker sections, the rural areas where people are more likely to have children. I mean, I would say my great-grandmother had 12 or 13 sisters, but I have one son. So yes, certain water has flown under the bridge. So don't base your promises on something which has already changed and say replacement ratio in India, more or less, it is stabilized. UP still has to work towards it, but how is disincentivizing people by not giving them government jobs, which anyway you are not giving to anyone, is going to act as a controlling factor on population? And we are not a younger nation anymore. I want to correct them. We have a huge aging population. We need to care for our aged, and we don't have the health facilities for that. And we need to, already the population which has been added between the 18 to 35 of 40 group, we have to procure employment from them. Where is the employment generation? So you are distracting attention from issues which you need.
But are you saying that the population even at the current growth is not a concern? It's definitely a concern, but perhaps our ways to address it need to be different. Like Poonam Mutreja said, it needs to be more about awareness. It needs to be more about development and better services than anything else.
I agree, absolutely. But we need to want to address the issues which are causing this. I mean, population is always a question, but you can't say that today, if we have a certain population, that is 23 crores in UP, you bring in this law, this is not going to be retrospective. So you are tackling a problem which was already created. You have to really move ahead and bring people to a stage of education, of literacy, of employment, of economic empowerment, that we don't add to the population.
Okay, okay. Quick response from O.P. Mishra, and then we go to Poonam Mutreja.
See, a lot of things have to do. We have to curb the population first. We have limited resources. We cannot deny that we have limited resources every time. और जब हमारे पास लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेस होता है तो एक पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल है जहां हम करके उस रिसोर्स को लंबे समय तक सभी को हम पहुंचा सकते हैं. जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार जिस पे काम कर रही है, सबका साथ, सबका विकास और सबका विश्वास. हम किसी जाति, धर्म और किसी संप्रदाय के अगेंस्ट जाके कोई पॉपुलेशन की पॉलिसी लेके नहीं आ रहे हैं, जैसा कि आपके चर्चा में भी आए. लेकिन ये विकास सब तक होना चाहिए. और देखिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन, यूथ, देयर इज एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग ऑन. लेकिन जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हैं उनको ये दिखाई नहीं देगा, बिकॉज दे नीड ए इशू एवरी टाइम. देयर आर द पीपल ऑन द एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट इज growing now. Everything has been on path, and now since election is came in UP now, so that's why these things have been making an issue. तो पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल तो सभी को चाहिए, किसको नहीं चाहिए आप ये बताएं मुझे, पूरे देश में चाहिए। और ये कब से मांग है, सबकी मांग। एवरीबॉडी हैव कंसर्न अबाउट दिस पॉपुलेशन पॉलिसी, एवरीबॉडी हु इज नॉट कंसर्न अबाउट दिस पॉपुलेशन पॉलिसी। अब अभी यहां बात हुई कि किसी के 4 बच्चे थे, पहले 5 बच्चे थे, या प्राइम मिनिस्टर कहते हैं अब वो समय नहीं रहा, ये हम सभी जानते हैं। थिंग्स हैव बीन चेंज्ड नाउ, things have been changed now, and population have grown so much.
Okay, let me also put another thought on the table. Is it largely a political promise and a political game that parties play, whether it's in Assam now or Uttar Pradesh or back when it was brought in Maharashtra in 2005? How I don't even know how practically it is implemented. Recently there was a case in Maharashtra where they found out that a government official lady had actually lied about how many children she had in her affidavit when she got the government job. She had already had 3 children and she only said that she had 2 children. Later on they found out, and a lot of investigation and then action was subsequently taken. I don't know to what extent in a country where there are so many issues of verification and on ground delivery of ration, government schemes any which ways, is this even a factor that is looked into? So does it just boil down to, Poonam Mutreja, simply a political stunt?
Okay, so actually, I'm going to not really answer your question on this one. I'm going to say to you, it's a political blunder. It is misinformed, and it is a demographic blunder also. And I would like to state a few things why I say that. Okay, what I say here is, first, I want to address Mr. Mishra. He totally misunderstood. I'm sorry, maybe I wasn't very articulate, Mishra Saab. You misunderstood. I wasn't saying emulate China. I saying learn from their mistakes. All right? So, and I'd be happy to share a note.
We are learning from everybody. Yes, we can learn from everybody.
Mishra ji, 1 minute. No. I'm not going to give you an opportunity. मैंने आपका नाम लिया तो आप नहीं, आप please मुझे बोलने दीजिए. I want to address some of your misconceptions. Second, I am not against population stabilization. मेरा काम ही population stabilization है. So you and I are in the same objective as everybody. And one reason to do that is because women want to have fewer children. There's an unmet need for family planning. और आपके उत्तर प्रदेश के आंकड़े मैं आपको देना चाहती हूँ. Of the 25 crore population, do you know that every year you add 18% population, which is unwanted fertility? ये government के data है. लोगों के पास family planning के साधन नहीं है, या women के पास autonomy नहीं है, इसलिए या development नहीं है, services नहीं है, बहुत से कारण हैं. आप वो कारण address कीजिए, क्योंकि अगर if you deal with this unmet need of people who want to control their fertility, please help them do it. Second, UP fertility rates are falling from 3.8. The population there, आपका 3.8 था 2005-2006 में, it became 2.7 in 2015-16. Now the next data, it has come for 17 states, but UP का data 2 महीने बाद आएगा NFHS का. You are going to go close to 2.4 or 5. So fertility is declining in your state. Please help those who don't want to have children with better services.
So in a way, Poonam Mutreja, I'm sorry I'm coming in because I'm a little short on time. You are actually adding to the point that I was making. There are a lot of this is purely political messaging. It's good to hear this when, any which ways there is an election atmosphere and you're building towards an assembly elections which are going to be very crucial. What effectively does on ground is a different thing. The normal thought process is कि भाई अगर हम 4 इंसेंटिव और डिसइंसेंटिव स्कीम देंगे तो या तो एक कम्युनिटी को कम बच्चे पैदा करना शुरू करना होगा और उसी से दूसरी कम्युनिटी का फायदा होगा, क्योंकि फिर पॉपुलेशन बराबर की हो जाएगी, नहीं तो वो पॉपुलेशन में आगे निकल जाएंगे. That's essentially the narrative that gets peddled on ground, that we need to one community, one religion, people of one faith need to ensure that the people of other faith do not procreate at this speed, because then the percentage of them in our country would be higher than us. It boils down to this. But if the UP government is genuinely serious about taking a look at what is the population growth, the rate of it, and where is it problematic and how can they solve it, then first they must study what's happened in Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh, and not just about the rate of population increase or slow down or decrease, but also what are the various impacts on the demography, on the classes, on the society and the people themselves. Only then will we be able to take a well-informed decision on a policy such as this. Big thank you to all of the panelists for joining us on this conversation.